morning. Thank you so much for joining me for our training summer webinar series. We're so excited to have you, and I appreciate you spending some of your Thursday with me to learn how to prep for your upcoming courses. So whether it is a fall smaller or a summer smaller term or a regular fall semester, this time together will be used to prep for your courses using Hawks. If you are a returning Hawks member, welcome back. We're so glad to have you. We'll look forward to another successful semester with you and your students. If you're new to the Hawks family, welcome. We're so excited to have you as well. I am a member of our training and support team. And so each school that works with Hawks has a designated support team member who works with their school, guiding their instructors. But collectively, we work together as a team to help our instructors, help our students have the best experience overall with Hawks. So we're so excited to work with you, and I hope that this time today would be beneficial. As we get started, I have shared my screen with you. I have an example gradebook pulled up. I'm using the Preparation for College Mathematics 2nd edition gradebook, but as I understand that we'll have many different instructors viewing this webinar, just to let you know that largely the gradebook is pretty much the same setup. So what I'm going through today is applicable whether you're a psychology instructor, English instructor, or economics as well. So as I get started, you can see that I'm on the home page. As you sign into Hawks, you're always brought to the home page. But to get started with setting up our section, we're going to click on the Tools tab. So under Tools, we want to start by clicking Manage Sections. Now, if we are creating a brand new section, we're going to click on Add New Section here in the upper left-hand corner. I'm going to give my section a name. I'm just going to title it Fall 2020. I'm going to say that it's an online section. Now, I will just say I labeled this Fall 2020. When you're labeling your section, it is best to give the section number, be as detailed as possible, just so that if your school is using Hawks in multiple sections, it's very clear which section that the student is signing into. For the start date, you can type in the date, or you can use this handy calendar icon. I certainly like the calendar icon myself. Now, underneath, you'll notice some additional options. So first of all, we have where you can choose not to accept lessons and then not to accept web tests before the start date. You may wonder, why does that matter? So the reason we have those, and we do recommend by best practice checking these off, is because we offer students lifetime access with their courseware. So that simply means if the student has to repeat a course, they can transfer their previous access into your section without having to purchase the code again. So this would just prevent any previous work from transferring in so that they're really getting that fresh start. Underneath the section end date, we can use that calendar icon again. And let me go ahead and put in the date. This is where we can choose whether or not lessons and tests will be accepted after the end date. We just check those off. And then finally, we can choose assignments that have not been completed by the end date will automatically have a grade set to 0. The time of day lessons are due is by default around midnight every night. If you would like to change this, maybe have the assignment completed or due rather right before the section's meeting time. So if that's Mondays at 9, you can adjust that here. Now I wanted to point out this gray box. It says apply the following sections, assignments, and settings to the new section. Now I have an older section from the spring here, and if I wanted to reuse my templates, felt like everything really worked out well with the flow of everything in my templates and wanted to reuse those, I can use this gray box to copy over those templates. I would click on my section name. It will ask me, do you want to copy over basic settings? Now these basic settings, what it's referring to is everything that we just filled out. So that name, section, meeting time, start, and date. We want to click no so that it doesn't erase everything that we just typed in here on the left. But now you can see in the gray box here, we have our lesson due date template, our curriculum, our late penalty template, as well as our assignment reminders. That is all set. Just since I'm walking through setting a course up from the ground up, I'm just going to go back and erase this, and I will save my changes. So now we can see my older section here and my new section. Now, something that you may consider doing is go ahead and hiding this older section here by checking it off and clicking hide. This will just prevent the students from being able to see that older section whenever they are enrolling in your course. They will only see this brand new section that you have created. If you're completely finished with this section, you can always delete it. But if you want to hold on to those examples and that flow just for reference, you can keep it and just keep it hidden. I'm going to go ahead and click back on the Tools tab, and I wanted to show off our assignment reminders. This is found under the Communications tab by clicking on Reminders. Now, if you're starting with Hawks for the first time, just want to show you that Hawks, the gradebook, we have several templates here. The reason why is so that you can easily transfer those settings from section to section, semester to semester, just like we did with that little gray box in the Manage Sections area. So this is our first time to see that that template here. So anytime you see this box, you want to go ahead and click on your section name, and we want to give the reminder template a name. Oops. And then we would want to go ahead and set up those reminders. I'm just going to show you the options that you have. You have reminder options for certifications, which is just our fancy word for homework, web test reminders, as well as other assignment reminders. I'm going to check off the certification reminders, and if I wanted to have a certification reminder 2 days before a certification is due, this message will automatically send to my students. Anything that you see here in brackets will auto-populate with the pertinent information, such as the student's name, the lesson day, due date, and the lesson name, as well as your name here. So, let me just close this up here. We don't have any more pop-ups. And then this message body is customizable to you. I've heard so many great so many instructors give great feedback about this tool. I personally love it. I think it's one of my favorite areas of the gradebook. And instructors have told me that their students have really appreciated that message, not only as just a quick reminder, but also a personal outreach. And so this just helps you with connecting with your students right from the get-go. I'm going to go ahead and save those changes. We're going to move on to the grade settings tab. Here under grade settings, we're going to click on assignment groups. Now under assignment groups, you'll notice our 3 default groups. These are just what we see students or instructors use across the board most commonly. So lessons, quizzes, and tests. But if you wanted to remove any of these groups, such as quizzes, you can, and additionally, you can create new groups. So if you had a study guide group that you wanted to add and maybe count as bonus, you can do that. And then here under the weights column, this is where you can enter in the weights, allocating them based on your syllabus. Under grade settings, I also want to point out the lesson late penalty. Under lesson late penalty, this is where we can adjust your penalty based on your syllabus outline. I'm going to click on the section. Just to let you know, Hawks does not penalize students for any late work. So unless you create this penalty, your due dates that you set for the students are going to be more of just a pacing guide. So if you do plan to penalize for late work, this is where we'd want to do that. So of course, I want to give my template a name. So I'll just say late penalty of 20. And I can choose to set my penalty type from fixed or graduated. Now, if I click on graduated, I can adjust the number of graduations. So let's say I wanted to just have 2 graduations. I wanted to say 50% penalty up for the first week it's due. Now, if the assignment was past a week due, I could go ahead and say 75% penalty. So this is all customizable to you. If you have any questions, definitely let us know. We can help you try to create what you have outlined in your syllabus. I'm going to go ahead and create or go back to the assignments tab now. So we're going to look at how to create and assign your homework lessons, quizzes, and tests. So here under assignments, we want to get started by scrolling down to the curriculum. As I click on curriculum, again, we see this template format. So if I wanted to use my previous curriculum, I can click that here in the curriculum drop-down menu. But if I want to start from scratch, just to show you what options you have, I'm going to click on my section. You're going to see this little blue highlight here at the top. It says, in order to customize your curriculum, please create a name and save your changes before adjusting the settings and editing a lesson. So for example, if I tried to click on any of these lesson names, it will not let me click on them. So let me go ahead and customize my curriculum here. And click Save Changes. As I click Save Changes, you'll notice that all of these lessons have now become hyperlinked here. So if I wanted to edit, say, lesson 1.1, Introduction to Whole Numbers, I can click on the lesson name. It will open up in a new tab and allow me to choose which questions from the Hawks question bank that we want the students to see in their homework. Now, I wanted to focus here at the top of the page with what we call our global settings. Global settings simply means it goes into effect for all of the lessons collectively. So a few I wanted to touch on are these where you can change the mastery level. Hawks homework across all of our disciplines is mastery based. However, that mastery level is customizable to you as an instructor. By default, you can see here in this column, it's always around 80% because we believe if the student is demonstrating mastery of at least 80% in their homework, that come test time, that's going to prove positive results. You can customize this mastery level here at the top in your global settings, or go into the column and do this individually for any particular lessons that you desire. Additionally, you can require practice. So across the Hawks homework in all of our disciplines, we have Learn, Practice, and Certify modes. Each homework lesson is built into these 3 modes, and Learn and Practice are not required by default. However, if you start to notice a trend where students are jumping into Certify, almost guessing and having to try Certify over and over, and you notice they haven't spent time in practice, you may find this a best practice to go ahead and require the practice mode. You can click on this checkmark box. You can choose how much of practice they have to attempt before going back into Certify. Additionally, I wanted to point out Flex Mastery. This allows students to retry a missed question with new values instead of receiving a strike. And this is especially helpful for if a student had a type error whenever entering their answer. They knew the answer, they just accidentally hit the wrong key, so allow them to demonstrate their mastery on this objective. Additionally, something new that we offer is our Certify review. This is where the student can review their Certify attempts. And if you have any questions about editing your curriculum, please let your TSR know. We'd be happy to answer your questions. I'm going to click back on the assignments tab. I'm going to go ahead and leave there, and we'll click on the lesson due dates. So in curriculum, you can think of curriculum as choosing which questions the students will see and customizing that homework lesson, but to actually assign it for the student, we want to go to lesson due dates. So I click on lesson due dates, I see my template here, I'm going to click on my section, and I can see all of my lessons that Preparation for College Math offers. Just as a reminder, the student has access to all of these lessons at all times. However, they're not going to see this whole entire list on their to-do list, but rather the lessons that you give a due date to. The way we give a due date is by simply typing in the due date here. Let's see, August 11th, 2020. Or I can use my handy calendar icon. I love the calendar icon. There we go. A few options I wanted to point out here are the shift multiple due dates, first of all. This is very helpful if you chose to carry over the due date template that you used in a previous semester. That way you have basically the pace that you and your students took throughout the term, that you can take essentially that outline and push it forward to the new semester. So you would click on the first lesson due date you'd like to shift and shift it forward to the fall. This is also helpful if you ever have inclement weather in special situation where you have to cancel class and move some dates around. This just prevents you from having to go in and edit every lesson one by one. Under show additional options, we have this visible on column. We created this as we heard that some students would work too far ahead. The instructors wanted to kind of prevent the student from working ahead and really help everyone stay on the same pace collectively as a class. So here under the visible on, you can adjust. Let's just scroll down here to say chapter 6. If chapter 6 is not due until say October the 1st, we can choose that the visible on date is not until September 28th. So this will just help everyone stay on the same pace as a class, and also with the to-do list, that's also going to help them with their pacing too. But this will just control when that is visible. I'm going to hide those additional options. I just wanted to point out our prereqs here. So under our prereqs, this is where we can say, for example, we have chapter reviews in this particular title. I wanted all of the chapter 1 lessons that we covered to be a prerequisite for the chapter 1 review. I can set that up here. I'm going to go ahead and click back on the assignments tab. I'm not going to click into the web test here because we're actually going to have a additional summer training webinar specifically on web tests. So I'm not going to click into that today, but this is where you can create any study guides, quizzes, web tests. Although the name implies web test or online test, you can actually use this tool to create paper and pencil assignments too by exporting your assignment. So be on the lookout for more information on our webinar coming up on the web test. Now, additionally, we have other assignments. This is where you can create placeholders for any grades that are outside of HOCS, such as in-class projects or extra credit assignments, such as written exams or written papers or anything like that. This is where you can have placeholders for those. The student to-do list is customizable to you as an instructor. So if you want to have essentially modules that the student would work through, you can do that here under the student to-do list. Also, course materials, this is where you can upload, say, a course syllabus, or if this is a math class, any formula sheets that you would like the student to see. Finally, here at the bottom, we have Question Builder. We're going to have an additional training on Question Builder as well. And so hopefully you can join us for that. Be on the lookout for more information, but this is where you can create your own questions to use for a web test. Now here at the top, we have Edit Scores by Assignment and Edit Scores by Student. These are really great areas to use if you need to bulk edit assignments. So if you needed to bulk edit to get extra credit or anything like that, or if it was a student that you've been working with and you needed to adjust their scores, this is a great way to bulk edit. Before we end our time today, I just wanted to jump over to the Help tab. Since we're on the subject of help, just wanted to remind you that we're always here to help you. We have a 24/7 live chat service. So if it's a late night, early morning, or a weekend, please don't hesitate to reach out through that 24/7 live chat. And then Monday through Friday, 8 in the morning to 10 at night Eastern, we have phone support as well. So please don't hesitate to reach out. We'll be happy to help you in any way we can. Before we wrap up our time today, I just wanted to remind you of the additional resources you have as an instructor. So under the Help tab with Instructor Resources, this will open up in a new tab. Definitely encourage you to explore these additional options and resources for you. But I wanted to just quickly highlight the student resources. So first of all, those getting started directions. This is our student quick start guide. If you choose to open up this PDF, it is customizable, so you can list the title of the Hawks courseware you're using, as well as your name and your section name. This will help the student walk through the steps of creating their account through Hawks, as well as encouraging them to reach out to us with questions. Our phone and our chat service is listed here. That way you can really focus on those course objective questions rather than Hawks questions. I'm going to close out of that here, and I wanted to point out our training videos as well. These training videos are great to share with your students because this helps them walk through the account creation process, which is what we were looking at with that quick start guide. But also the dashboard and beyond really just shows the students what all they have at their fingertips as a Hawks student. So all the wonderful resources they have, explaining the process of the homework lessons with Learn, Practice, and Certify, as well as how they can create their own web tests. So I encourage you to share those with your students. I'm going to go ahead and click back here and wanted to see if you had any questions that I can help with. So one question that I'm asked often is if I can change the mastery level. We briefly went over that, but just a reminder, it is under assignments and curriculum where you can adjust the mastery level, and you can do that overall here in the global settings or by going to each individual mastery level. Now, of course, whatever mastery level you set, the strikes will be allocated appropriately. And just one other reminder, if you have any web test questions, I encourage you to attend our web test webinar. We're very excited to hear more with you. And then, of course, your TSR or anyone on our training support team would be happy to help answer those questions. I think that's all of our questions for today, and that's everything I wanted to share with you in today's training webinar. I so appreciate your time today. Thank you for setting some time on your Thursday to spend with me and learn more about preparing for your course. We're so excited to work with you and your students, and if there's anything we can help with, please don't hesitate to reach out. Just wanted to say that I've been so inspired by the instructors that I work with through Hawks, by seeing everyone's tenacity to press forward despite all of the recent circumstances and challenges with COVID-19. So I just wanted to say thank you for inspiring us here at Hawks, and I know you're inspiring your students as well. And if there's anything that we can help you with, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Y'all stay safe.